Hey guys, welcome back. Stop Talk and Roll, episode 227, where we break down some jiu-jitsu rounds. Today, finally, we have a submission. I'm so happy. A submission from somebody that I don't know previously. This is awesome. This is monumentous. We have Gabriel and over here in the rash guard, and Jamie in the no rash guard in the shirt, in the skins, if you will. These guys are from over in the UK, I believe, and they have their own YouTube channel. So this is off of their own YouTube channel where they post rounds of them rolling in, funny enough, in like different locations. Like they're one that they just released, they're rolling in the snow, which is hilarious. Like they don't have traction. So just pretty cool to watch. These guys reached out to me to break down one of their rounds. They're both white belts. They're both trained. They just post their rounds on jiu-jitsu, they post their jiu-jitsu rounds on YouTube. So I'll have their information in the description below. But just to hear it, it's J&G Jiu-Jitsu. So definitely check this out. I'm not going to post their round of them rolling. Obviously, it's over there. And they also commentate while they're training. So while I break it down, I'll break down a little bit more technique. Pretty cool for sure. They asked me to break down this round. I don't typically watch the rounds beforehand, so I didn't see too much of this. Some assumptions I'm going to make, though. The mats aren't going to slide, but that shot. So when you shoot, it's really important, especially with jiu-jitsu in mind. You can't lead with your head down like this, because if Jamie were to sprawl right now, okay, and get head heavy, it's very easy for him to wrap in a guillotine right here. So when you go for a penetrating step, you want to come in chest high, and you want to be putting your forehead either dead center into their chest or coming up the armpit, but like driving up so he can't wrap around. Basically, you end up, when you do it right with a nice strong chest, there's no way for them to wrap their arm around their head. And if you do, you just do a little turn into them and dip around and get a body lock around their back. What you do want to do also is the initial step, the shot. You want to, let's see. Yeah, so you don't want to lead with your foot like that. I mean, you do need to close the distance. A cue is if you can touch the person. So you're in your wrestler stance, and if I can touch the person, this is my rangefinder. If I can touch them with my hand, I can shoot. Okay, so I think you are in range. Let's just double check. Yeah, you're in range. You're fine with that. But instead of stepping with the foot, you want to lead with your knee. That's what the shot is. So you have this foot on the floor. This one's going to penetrate, and you want it here. You want to penetrate through. Basically, just you're running through their body, chest high. You're going to bump them back. Okay, that's going to make it harder for them to sprawl, and it's going to protect you. Now, remember, we're in, sorry, I'm just going to fix my camera a little bit. We're in jiu-jitsu here, not just wrestling. You want to protect your head from any potential submissions that are coming in. Okay, let's see. Oh, see, and there's a guillotine. Okay. Oh, but you get out. Okay. So, this is great that you're head heavy. I mean, you're Jamie, that you're heavy over Gabriel's head with your shoulder. And this is a good position right now. You want to maintain this, driving, if this head's here, driving that shoulder over the back of his head so he can't clear. Let's see what happens. Oh, something happened. We circled out. Oh, you were already out. Okay. It goes without standing, though. You still want to be over the top. Dip that shoulder down on the back of his neck. Keep his head in there. I like the little bunny hops. Don't accept those grips. You're accepting that grip for way too long. Yeah, clear that. Always just clear right. Camera here. Clear right into the opening of the hand. Right. Always be grip fighting. Okay. Well, let's look at that little sequence there. So it looks like you're trying to jump guard. I think you got scared. I think you tried to jump guard and got a little scared, which I don't blame you on these mats. So yeah, Gabriel, you gotta jump both legs. You just gotta jump both legs. That's tough. You got a big guy coming down on you, and you take the back. Beautiful. Love it, love it. Oh, choke him. What are you doing? Choke him. You got to choke him. Sorry. If you haven't heard my style before, if I'm saying, what are you doing, it means I like you. If I'm not talking, if I'm not giving you a hard time, I don't like you. But you got to go. You got to go. Sorry. Sometimes I forget I'm on like a YouTube channel and like I think I'm in the gym. Like, what are you doing? Let's go. Always be choking. ABC. Always be choking. Choking. That's what that's for right there. Always be choking. Get this arm over here. Get it over his shoulder. Okay. Let him play with your feet. You need to be choking him. You choke him. His hands are going to come up. Then you can grip fight. Get your hands on his hands, and you can control what his hands are. Right now, you don't have good control of his hands. Okay, you're just squeezing. I know that you're trying to get that body triangle in, but he's doing nothing to stop your choke right now. That's my main comment here. As far as escaping goes, likewise, you want to be committing to defending your neck, okay? I don't like escapes that don't involve a hand committed to the neck because you have to assume that our partner is going to be trying to choke us. But you are looking to spin. It's going to be hard to spin with this right here, but and he's got a pretty good lock here. I would look to, well, your legs are free. Well, let's see. It looks like you actually, oh yeah, I like that the arm just came up over the shoulder, but that led to his escape because you don't have control over his lower body. So I would look, Gabriel, right? I don't want to mess this up. Jamie, I'm sorry. Jamie, I would look to turn actually to the floor. Get this knee out because once you lose the bottom hook, you have to, the way I play back, it's all about having the bottom hook. The bottom hook's going to dictate the control overall. Okay. So, and you don't have either hook right now. So your options are either to turn. Basically, you want to build head height. He's got head height right now, meaning his head's above your head. That's a problem. I would look to basically turn belly down, drive your shoulder down, and basically place his forehead on the mat, or just get his head on the mat and pin it there. Then at the same time, you want to be getting this leg out over here, okay? Or just behind his back. It shouldn't be, that was exaggerated with the arrow, but just behind his back. And then use that to stack up and get on top. I talk about this in the channel. If you look for any of the references for like HBBH or hip, it's hip, butt cheek, hip. It's the way that you turn when you take somebody's back. That sequence, I'll try to find an example of it and post it in a timestamp for the episode. But that's generally what you want to do there. And then you can go to attack the back from there. But it all involves about getting that bottom hook back in, whether it's getting it back in on this side or putting a hook on the top side and turning to make that your bottom hook. That's the way I play it. But Gabriel's able to escape, establish a nice side control here. You don't have control of his head, so you're either looking to get control of his head right now or switch to north-south. If you don't, it's going to be very hard to keep him where he is. I know you have the wall. So one of the things you want to do when you're playing side control, this is huge. And it's a very simple thing, a very simple concept. I'm just going to move my head. It's a very simple concept, okay? Jamie has several ways of escaping, but a hip escape, he has to be able to turn into you. For him to hip escape, his knees have to be facing you. If his knees are facing the ceiling or away from you, which they are right now, he can't escape. So if you watch... Little hard. It's starting to face to your dude, but it's still facing the ceiling. You're still okay. But the second he's able to turn, look, it's starting to now it's starting to face you more, right? You get him faced away, which is great. I would drive this knee right behind his legs. Keep him pointing that way. That way. Sorry, I'm backwards. But now he's able to turn, and you also have the wall there, and he's able to get his knees back in place. Okay? Let's see from here. Yeah, the little battle that's going on here is to get that knee out. One way to make this easier, and it might be hard because of the walls here. If you turn down to your hip, Gabriel, so you just lay down on your hip, keep this here. I like this, but just drop to your hip. It's going to make it a little easier to, now again, this is mat withstanding. Your foot would get caught in the mat if you do this technique, but you heel toe your foot to his butt, and it's going to make it harder and harder for him to maintain this knot over your knee. Okay? And that would make it easier to pop your knee out to get out of that situation. For Jamie on the bottom, one of the things you can consider is taking this hook out actually preemptively. Like if you feel like you're going to get beat, or right about here, you could you have a hook on this side. I would put the hook in and on this side as well. And use that to manipulate him. But you guys probably have to move off the wall. Yeah, I was going to say, probably move off the wall in a second. And again, that's giant wooden bench and movable mats withstanding. Okay, that's about to be fun, but be very careful doing this. Hold on. Right here. This, you need to be very careful about, okay? You never want to stand flat-footed in front of a seated opponent. What Jamie could do is he actually already has one hook in, which is great. And, oh my God, this is dangerous. If you put your other hook in, Jamie, right here, do the same thing on this side. Literally, all you need to do is just boop, push him, and he's going over. But nice clearing, jump. You like to jump a lot, it seems, Gabriel. I would just commit to it a little bit more. Who cares if you screw up? Nice little pass there. Get in side control. If you want to be not nice, one thing you could do here just to start wearing them out and and if you want to get him to really start moving, especially against like a bigger guy, you want to try to wear him down. Make a fist, right? And do it so your hand doesn't hurt, but just make a fist and then roll your weight back on top of him. Okay. Not going to make him tap out. It's not the nicest thing in the world, but doesn't feel good. I'm not a huge fan of the hug. What I would prefer to do, Jamie, is frames. So getting this hand over here and then using your forearm in his neck. Okay, I'm going to switch sides again. Where's my mouse? I've lost my mouse. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. Don't mind all that. A frame, so you have your forearm right across his neck. It's really hard to deal with. And then instead of pushing with your hand, flip this over and look to get your elbow in. That's one option. The other one is if you can clear, he is starting to gain control. He's got control of your shoulders. The other one is if you actually turn away from him. Okay, this goes against what I was saying before with the hip escape, but you get a nice C grip or a V grip depending on the situation. Probably a V grip actually, right into his armpit, and you can use that to start turning him away. And that's going to be an advantage that you have as the bigger guy here. You know what? And I say all that, and I'm a big jerk. Why did that happen? Your head's up. Nope, you put your head down. So what you need to be ready to do, Gabriel, is to switch your hips and get this knee out here so that doesn't happen. Let's see, are you able to do that? Your hips are, your hips are facing this way, so there's nothing stopping you. There's no post from going over. Very nice escape. I take back everything I said about frames. You do you. Okay, half butterfly. Oh, but you're about to get that smashed. Okay, good. That's fine. So one thing that you should be thinking right here, both of you guys, this is that paradoxical position that Danaher talks about, where you have half guard top and half guard bottom, and both players want to be there. The difference being that the player on top wants to flatten the bottom guy out. The player on bottom wants to stay on his side. So right now, You want to be looking on Jamie on bottom. You want to be looking to regain inside position. You've kind of lost it up top, but there is some room. So looking to get a hand in front just as a frame might be a good idea, but definitely looking to get your hook back in. You had it before, and Gabriel. I'm sorry, I was calling. My apologies. Jamie's on top. Gabriel, you had it in earlier. Jamie was able to clear it. Let's see. This shouldn't be too troublesome to deal with. Yeah, I was going to say. Nice hip escape. Very nice. Ooh, I'd be very careful with that. I don't know if you guys played leg locks yet, but that... Okay, so you can see right there, your knee is free, but potentially you could get that heel hook in and just rip it across. Now, I know you're friends and you wouldn't do that to each other, but I also want you to be aware that that's a possibility. Is it a good submission? In this context, you don't really have control of the hips. Probably not, but like, would it potentially jack your leg up? Yeah, it definitely could. If you look at, I don't know if it was exactly this position, but if you look at Johnny Grippo, I forget who did it against, but that's how we got the nickname Johnny Rippo, right? He absolutely obliterated this guy's leg in a similar position. He might have had, his hips might have been like over the leg, I think. But even still, if you don't move fast enough or respond quick enough and he just rips at it, it could be a problem. But you throw the leg by. I love this. Put your chest down. Are you pinching him? Just there you go. Nice. Look at the back takes. Switch sides. This is what I'm talking about. This becomes your bottom hook. It's too easy for him to escape. Let's see what happens though. Yeah, he's able to escape. It's because you're putting a hook in. Not all hooks are created equal. Just because you're like, oh, get your hooks in. No. Bottom hook. You want to get your bottom hook. It's okay if you put a top hook in and you don't have a bottom, but you need to make it your bottom hook. Obviously, maybe it's not obvious. Sorry, you guys aren't typically on the channel. Never say never. There's always an exception to the rule. If you make it work and it works for you, do it. Don't listen to me. But my experience, you want to get a bottom hook. So either start with a bottom hook or start by trying to achieve a bottom hook, or put the top hook in, make it your bottom hook by switching sides. So again, you're here, you get the top hook in. I love how you're very active about trying to trap the arms. One thing you could do from here, if you feel like you're losing the position. So from here, I would first bring your elbows together to get that tight, and then lock it up as tight as you can. Lock your arms up as tight as you can around his head, kind of like a pseudo head and arm position. And then, I mean, unfortunately the wall's here, but I would look to walk my legs. I would take the hook out. I'm totally blocking the way. Jeez, sorry. I would take the hook out and I would walk my legs all the way back so I belly down. And when you belly down, you could put a lot of pressure on the back of his head and force his chin into his chest. From there, you can walk up to your knees and get on top, okay? I do that definitely. I'll try to find an example of that. But if you watch some of my rounds, especially my back positional rounds, I like 100%. I'll do it in a back positional. I like to practice that. All right. We got Gabriel playing some close guard now. I like the flexibility of your feet. Passing close guard is, in my opinion, one of the hardest things to do, especially on top. Just not so much the passing part, but the breaking of the legs. This is working for you right now, Gabriel, or Jamie. I really apologize, guys. I'm sorry. Jamie, this is working for you now, just kind of pushing on his legs. But as you guys get better, and or as you play with people that are closer to your size, it's not going to be the most effective way to break open the guard. Does it work? Yeah, it can work. I mean, obviously it worked there, but in the long term, that's not like the best approach. What I would recommend you do, it's also if you're visiting gyms or you're training with other people, people don't like that. It's just like people get annoyed. So not that you should care what other people think, but I'm just giving you a heads up for social implications of techniques. What you do want to do, I just talked about this in a very recent episode 226. Okay. Oh, yes, literally, or 2 days ago, two days ago episode. You're looking to episode 225. You're looking to either get, I forget what the name of these grips are called, but basically you want to create this like L with your hand, and these go towards the mat. This goes over the armpit right into both armpits. Armpit 1, armpit 2. That's one option. The other one is to get a grip like so, or it could be 5 fingers together directly on both of their biceps. From there, you're looking to go head heavy, hips up. But you can only do that when you control their hands. And then from there, you can look to start breaking the guard open from there. It's going to be a little bit more technical rather than this. When you feel somebody do this, Gabriel, on the bottom, you can either just resist it and be like, whatever. Or if they're trying really, really hard, you can preemptively open your guard. Okay, so that's what's one thing I like to preach to people as well. If you know your guard's going to get broken, it's better to do it on your own terms than wait for them to finish the technique or get to a point where you have to open the guard. You have no choice anymore in the matter. If you're routinely in this position and Gabriel is just pressing, I'm so sorry. And Jamie's pressing down and opening your guard, just open it prematurely so you don't kill your hips, and you might be able to catch them by surprise. One of the things that I love to do, and it's something that I learned as a white belt, and it's definitely like my claim to fame now, is butterfly guard. And essentially how I used to get into it, and it would be very easy to get into, especially considering Jamie's position and his posture right now, is just to open your guard and throw your hooks around and get him right in front of his legs. Okay? All right, sitting up. Nice. Love that. Nice into a leg drag. Very nice. I have one thing I'd want to throw in, but let's see. I'd be looking to hip escape hard right now, Gabriel, because he doesn't have control of your head. Yeah, there you go. Now, look, he was able to, if you did that earlier rather than there, right? Like, there's nothing stopping you here from doing it. I mean, I don't know what's going on with the hand on the other side, but there's nothing stopping you. The second this happens, this does change the angle a little bit, but nothing is stopping your hips this whole time. If you consider, well, right here is what I was going to say. You can look to take his back from here. But I like the leg drag too. Stay on top. Get on top, stay on top. Something I preach a lot. So now what I was talking about the hips, there's nothing stopping you from hip escaping here. So that's the kind of the start of the position. It's still nothing stopping you. You actually hip escape when he has a little bit more control of your upper body. So like it's definitely a testament that you had enough room. Let me switch sides again. The old Americana. Your head goes between the mats. That's could be scary. Nice job fighting to get your knee back in. You guys got to do a little more grip fighting, although those grips don't matter too much there. But I would say overall, both of you guys I think you're accepting too many grips on each other's bodies. There's a big part, grip fighting is a big part of jiu-jitsu. I know it's no-gi, but even in no-gi, if you're controlling the grips, you're controlling the fight. And the reason I say that too is the more you grip fight and the more you get better at it, the more you realize like what grips need to be broken and which ones don't matter. And you can use that to your advantage. Like if you're your partner thinks they have a good grip and they think they're doing something with it when it really is nothing, you don't have to commit any resources to dealing with that. And they're just basically not using a hand because they have some like crappy grip that doesn't mean anything, versus like, oh shoot, he's got a collar tie. Like I need to clear that. I can't let him control my neck. All right. Well, I always like to pause on a high five or a smile. So I'm just going to let this play through for a second. Let's see. Kind of keeping him at bay. I like it. There we go. Very nice. Thank you guys so much for reaching out. I would definitely love to do another one of your videos if you guys enjoyed this. It's pretty cool. Like you guys are moving really well for white belts. You could tell. So I hope you take something away from this. I'd love to see what you guys have in store in the future. Please, please, please reach out. And anybody else out there, this is, I'd love to have you on the channel. Just hit me up. My information is in the description below. These guys hit me up via my email. I hadn't checked my email in a week and realized I should probably check that. And I put it on my phone, so I'll get updates now. But please check it out. Please like and subscribe. Ring that notification bell. I get these episodes out every morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Saturday. And again, I said it before, if you want to be on the show, check out the description below. And yeah, thank you so much. Shout out again to these guys, J&G Jiu-Jitsu, Jamie and Gabriel. I'll have all the information in the description below. No raw episodes of this because they have it already up, so you can go watch it over there. Plus see their commentary and what they have to say about their rolling. So, all right, thank you guys. Have a lovely day. And yeah, bye.